This is Alex Dixon with Group 1, Week 7 response. The first question that we had was, what can you tell about the quality and utility of the Shin article from the first page? Well, one of the first things that I noticed was the title. Rather than having a very simple title or a very irrelevant title, this article provided a very specific subject, region, and an idea of the process that was going to be examined by the author, which was shelter requests and housing stability. I also noticed, like a lot of other people, that the abstract on the left uh, would have been a huge help if I were doing this or looking at this article as a resource for some research, because it immediately provided me the objectives, methods, results, and conclusions of the research that was done by the authors. It also let me know if it was even going to be relevant to what research I was conducting. It took me all of like 2 minutes to read. It was wonderful. Um, and then the fact that this article also appeared in the American Journal of Public Health lets me know that it's credible and could contain very valuable information, not just to research, but to my own personal knowledge. Um, my Group 1 question was, or the first part of the question was, according to the video lecture, which honestly I thought they were awesome, it was a nice little change up to all the readings. And it provided me with a lot of information. I really like the malaria example. But anyway, according to the video lecture, how can thinking like an ecosystem help us to do better research and action? Well, thinking like an ecosystem can help us do better research because it opens our eyes to all the variables that affect our research. It allows us to begin to understand the chain of people, systems, and processes that our research and conclusions or our research may or may not affect. It can also help us determine what events are going around us that impact our research and the subject or subjects being researched. Um, Basically, what I got from that was it's not just about cause and effect. It's about cause, effect, 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 effect. Causes A and B might affect, effect number C, and then vice versa. Don't look at things as black and white. There's a lot of gray areas. Is kind of what I got from that. And there's always going to be other areas to examine, other causes of situations. In regards to action, thinking like an ecosystem also helps us determine how we can affect or improve a given situation. For example, poverty. With thinking like an ecosystem, we can really think about all of the different effects of poverty, from unemployment to drug abuse to domestic violence, which are affected by being unemployed, as Kristen stated in her video. But there are a million and one different effects of poverty. I think that personally, growing up in poverty, I didn't see a lot of effects at the time, but looking back, I do see a lot of the effects or a lot of the causes that led up to being in poverty, a lot of the effects that poverty had on my life and where I am today. Um, from domestic violence to substance abuse to government systems and how the government really works for people in poverty rather than just reading about it or watching it on the news. I also believe that my own personal experiences help me relate to others in poverty, which will also put me in a position that others might not be in that never had to have that experience growing up. The second half of the question, how would it apply to your own interests? Well, even though it was touched on in the videos, like I just said, poverty is my biggest interest when it comes to any type of social issues. And thinking like an ecosystem applies to this interest because it helps me see all the aspects of poverty, not just the causes, but also the potential solutions. It also helps me see how I can impact an individual's or family situation using my own resources and own personal networks. It helps me understand that, for example, unemployment may have brought a person into poverty, but government policies, mental health issues, etc., are keeping that person there. And my own personal experiences have shown me that there are ways to get out of poverty that a lot of people probably don't look at. I know for me, the biggest thing that helped pull me out of that was the Big Brothers Big Sisters program. I'm a little brother in the program. I've been a little brother since 1995. Unfortunately, my big brother passed away this past weekend, but he was a huge influence on my life. He was a retired principal, but he really showed me the importance of having a male figure around, the importance of education, and how to keep pushing for that knowledge. So for me, that was my solution to poverty, was education. And had he not been around, I don't know where I would be today. I mean, my mother dropped out of high school. My father graduated high school, but both of them have had their own issues, whether it be alcoholism or drug abuse. Um, but learning from their experiences has got me to where I am. But as far as thinking like an ecosystem, I had never thought of thinking this way, but it really does push you to think about all of the different causes and aspects of a given topic or given situation, and how you can not only study it but really make a positive impact on that. So that was my week 7 response. I really enjoyed this week's questions and material. And then Dr. Voorhees, I thought the videos were fantastic. That's it.